Hey everyone, Skylinks here, bringing you the final part to our Devastator review. This is actually making Devastator. Let's give you guys a heads up. Making Devastator isn't hard, but he's very flimsy and he can topple very easy, so this is going to be a challenge for me on screen. Okay, so we'll start things off and we'll do it in two sections. We'll start with the bottom section, and we're going to need this part here. This is his waist. Here's Scrapper. He is the only Default leader, which is actually not the body. Just flip his arms down and bring out his plow, like so. And Mixmaster, extend this section here and fold it in. It's pretty simple enough. Now, if you come around here, you just push this in here. You'll find that they'll line up with little indents. You push it in there. And that's his waist and his legs so far. Next, you bring in long haul. Bring this section down. And take this section right here. This is his pelvic area. And you just stick that up in there. And you just slide this in. And this can be annoying at times. It can be difficult. But just slide that in there. And there we go. That's Devastator's legs and his pelvic section and his abdominal area. So that's area number 1. Bring this down. Okay, for area 2 we're going to need hook, scavenger, bone crusher, the head, and this part. Okay, let's take hook, extend him out like that, bring this section around, and take the head, and you want to connect this because I know a lot of people like to do the head last on their Transformers, but you're going to have to do it as part of the actual transformation. You have to do it so that this can connect on. So it's not going to be the last part. Next is you come in here, and you see this section here? That's what I was talking about earlier. You bring that up. And you connect that on to Devastator's shoulder. Now this goes in, but it's kind of rough to get in, so you just get in like that. And then you'll see over here a little section here. You just bring that around, and you see a little nook right here, and you bring that out, and you just stick that in. Here we go. Let's see if it stays in there. There we go. We're doing pretty decent so far. Doing better than I thought we would. Now, doing this off camera, or on camera is going to be difficult, but you just combine this section here, this section up here, and he doesn't stay in that tight right here. You just bring this around, you bring this section and you slide that into the abdominal area, and you lock that into an area on hook. Okay, we're almost done. We have to do the hands. Hold on one second. The hands actually shoot out. So mine just shot out. And it's annoying as hell. So let me just put that back in. There we go. Shot out again. Yeah, see, the hands shoot out with this little button here, and they come off pretty easy. So let me just put Devastator up here and balance them somewhat. Okay, is that focusing? There. Okay, there's little nooks on each arm area. You just slide the arms in there. Stay, Devastator. Stay, boy. You bring this one and you just nook it in there. Nice. And two things. We'll get a close-up on Devastator because we have a lot of time. But he does have 2 more items. One of which I have, one of which I don't have, and both of which never showed up in the show. One is he has a head cannon that goes on his head. Like right there on the side of his head. I didn't buy that. Didn't need it. It didn't come with any of the figures. So I have no intention of buying it. I think it looks stupid. Next is he comes with a freaking huge rifle. Never shown in the show. Devastator never uses any kind of weaponry in the show. He just pulverized stuff. Pulverized. That's a new word. I was trying to say pulverized and pummel, so I call it pulverized. So he pulverizes stuff. So yeah, that's what Devastator does. So this gun goes in the hand, but it doesn't go in that easily. So, and it doesn't like to stay, and the arms like to fall off while I do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the review, put his gun in his hand, and we're going to take a look at him up close, okay? Okay, here is Devastator, fully transformed in all his glory. Like I said, the only part I didn't get is the head cannon. Let's get an overall view. As you can see how nicely the whole entire body goes together. Before I actually get really in depth, let's talk about Devastator as a whole. Devastator is the combination of all the Constructicons, and the one problem with Devastator, let's talk about the problems before we talk into the benefits. The problem with Devastator is his mind is very primitive. His mind really works based off all the thoughts that the Constructicons can agree on, and usually that thought is rage and destruction. So he's not that smart. Or not so much that he's that smart, it's just they can't really coincide with each other. I don't know if it's because each of the Constructicons are arrogant in their own way, or if it's just that they're in their period 24/7, but they can't agree. Second thing is he's very clumsy. It's very easy to trip up Devastator, so that's another thing. But those are basically his only weak points. His good points to him. Devastator is physically the strongest. Physically. I'm talking about sheer power. Physically the strongest combiner. Not armament-wise. Weapon-wise, I think Bruticus was the strongest, but sheer physical power, he is the strongest of the combiners. He has fits of rage, and he just destroys everything. That's the name Devastator. Megatron has no complaints about this, though. Never had. Basically what Devastator is you have the Constructicons, they beat up a few Autobots, and they form into Devastator. You just promptly put Devastator in an area which you want to destroy. He'll go around and he'll destroy everything. He'll even attack Decepticons if he's not thinking, because he's a loose cannon. That's what he is. So, he's just sheer power. So, he doesn't use a gun either. You never see him use that gun right there. He just rips and tears with his own hand, and he's one to be messed with. I mean, I think throughout the show, other than, like, tripping him up, I think the only ones that we ever actually see him get defeated by is the Dinobots. I mean, all the Autobots working together. And Bruticus beat him once, so I don't know, maybe there was other times. I'm not thinking 100% clearly today. Today's kind of a really off day, but there may have been other times. So let's just look at Devastator as a whole. There, you can see how all the parts combine together. He's a very nice figure. I have two favorite Gestalt figures. Two favorite Gestalt characters too. And they're both Bruticus and Devastator. The reason why I went with Devastator is just because, I mean, look how beautiful he is. He's a very dominant, bulky, muscular look. Even though he has no muscles, he has a very prominent chest area, very prominent arm area. His leg areas are nice. My only complaint with this figure. The only complaint I have with this figure is down at the feet, and unfortunately it's with my favorite guy, Scrapper. His shovel or plow likes to go out, so he falls over forward, like so, or he falls back. The other complaint I have is the arms, though they're on pegs, when you move them up to pose them, like him pointing the gun out like this, they can fall off pretty easily. Other than those things, he's just a nice figure. He's definitely worth getting. I think he's the first Gestalt figure that you should get. He was a journey for me to buy. He's the reason why I didn't get Tigerhawk so quickly. I wanted to get this guy out of the way first. I'll get Tigerhawk, and I'll get him out soon, but I really wanted to get Devastator, because I really wanted him badly. He does come in Generation 2. His Generation 2 colors are yellow, which are kind of more accurate, and they look a little bit better, but you gotta go with the classic green and purple. So yes, this is Devastator. Let's just do one more quick review of him. He's a very nice Transformer. Definitely worth the price if you buy him correctly. So anyways, this is Skylinks. I'm going to say peace out for now.